My name is Holly Zizumbo, and I'm a hometown hero.
I believe I read it in the Hutchinson News where a pedestrian was crossing the street and he got hit by a motorcycle and he ended up losing part of his lower leg. And I heard that there was a anonymous bystander or somebody driving by that witnessed it or was there shortly after and pulled over and rendered aid to the victim until the EMS showed up.
My family had just gotten done eating supper for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day, and we had dropped her off, and my son and I decided we wanted to go for a ride. And we got to 17th and Main. There was a few motorcycles in front of us, and they took off racing. And the next thing we know, we saw somebody fly up in the air and hit the ground. And so we were right behind him, so we pulled up and stopped and got out. First, I thought it was somebody that was on a motorcycle. I thought they'd wrecked the motorcycle, but it was actually a pedestrian. And so we got out to see if he was okay and what we could do.
What I understand is he was still laying in the street, so they had to pull over and they were in the street as well. And sometimes that's a little dangerous place to be, and they still stopped somebody that they didn't know and rendered aid until EMS showed up and police showed up, and I thought that was a pretty commendable act.
He had a broken leg. He basically ended up losing it. His hands were tore up from the road.
I think unfortunately she's the exception to the rule. I think a lot of people would have probably driven by and maybe pretended they didn't see anything.
It didn't affect me as much as it did my son. He's 8, and he pretty much learned that people make bad decisions, like the people who left the scene, but there are people that will stop and help, and that he should never walk away from a situation when somebody needs help.
I just think the world would be a lot cooler place if more people would do stuff like that to help somebody that they didn't know.